If I told you, if I told you just half of everything I've always wanted to.
Welcome back, Camley. It is a cold, rainy day. I'm sick. I'm not really sure what I'm sick with, but my throat hurts, I'm congested, and I've just been feeling this way for a few days. I've had a lot going on. I've been pretty stressed, and I've just really been pushing myself, and I think maybe this is my body's way of telling me to take a little break, take some rest, reflect. So I'm gonna do some self-care, take a shower, have like a little skincare moment, and then I want to give you guys a life update and just kind of tell you what's been going on lately. I feel like I've been doing a lot of videos sitting down and talking about a topic, and I really haven't let you guys in on my day-to-day life as much. So yeah, this is gonna be just a really laid back, let's relax and just catch up type of video. I'm gonna start by just like draining my face. My head literally feels like it's gonna explode. And I have a little tool called a gua sha that kind of just like drains your face. I don't even know. But I'm definitely feeling like puffy and just like not good. And then I'm gonna take a shower, finish up my skincare. I just know I will feel so much better after I do that. With how hard it's raining, I could probably just go outside and shower. See, this side of my face already looks more just like tight and less puffy. I don't know if I'm just seeing things, but I could tell the difference. Little eyebrow lift. Oh my god. See, my hair is in a really fun stage right now where it's just like so completely two different lengths. And the back is really growing out. I want kind of all my hair to be this length ultimately. If I just styled it, I could make it work. But lately I've just been throwing it up, and then when I take it down it looks like this. I had a lot of fun with this haircut, but now I'm just really ready for it to grow out, honestly. It's really helped me to be less vain and not care so much though, because like honestly it's just silly. This is silly. This is really silly. Okay, let's go. All right, I do indeed feel better. And as promised, time for a little life update. So if you've been following along, you know that for the last like 9 months, I've been really working on my video skills. Just building my portfolio for freelance videography. So far, I've shot a pride event, a wedding, a music video, a commercial, and I did most of those for free in order to just build my portfolio, to have footage to show people of like, this is my work, this is what I've done, what I'm capable of. During that time, I took a film course online and have just been practicing. I've been working on my editing skills and just trying to build up the confidence in myself to start charging people. And then when I shot the wedding, that was actually my first paid gig, the first time I took money from a client. And I'm finally at the point where I feel confident enough to really launch my business, to really get it started. And taking that leap has been a lot of work. As of yesterday, I launched my business page on Instagram, Cameron Lee Video. I also made a logo. Been working on this. Finally got it to look kind of how I want. As you can see, it kind of looks like a camera lens. And I've just been working on my brand, trying to get a vision of like, what am I about? You attract a certain type of clientele based on how you put yourself out there. And I definitely want to attract clients who have a similar idea about the art of videography. And to me, it's really about like the emotion. I love just capturing the feel of a shot. A lot of videographers focus on fancy camera tricks and cool ways of like coming in and out of a shot and transitions. And I can appreciate that, and I know how to do some of that stuff. I've learned some of those skills, but I think there's a time and place. I much more enjoy something that feels like a movie, like you're just watching a little mini movie and it's moving. Ultimately, what I really want to be doing in the long run is directing movies, but directing my own little movies for people is what I'm able to do now, and I'm just really looking forward to having that be a consistent thing now. Here is a little snippet of the wedding that I did.
I love you since always, and I will love you until always.
It was their 50th anniversary vow renewal wedding, and it was just so sweet to see a couple that has been together for that long. They were just so wholesome. And I just love the way that video turned out. When I first started thinking about freelance, I wasn't sure I wanted to do weddings. It sounded like a lot of pressure. With most other projects, you have a lot more control. You can reset the scene and film it over and over again. With a wedding, you get one shot to film someone's most special memories. And so I've just kind of been like, I don't know about that. That's really intimidating. But after shooting that wedding, I fell in love with the idea of just like telling someone's love story. Because like I said, that emotion is what really drives my work, I feel. And what better emotion to capture than love? So now I'm really inspired to film more weddings, but I'm also open to all kinds of stuff. I also really enjoyed the Pride event that I filmed.
You don't have to accept me, but it will not change who I am. It will not change the space that I am creating here, and it will not change the fact that people are going to come and take up that space and also live in their most authentic truth. We are here, and we are queer, and we are taking up space, and we need the same things that any other person needs in this community.
What I found is when you put the energy out there, when you put the support out there, then the people show up.
It's all just really exciting, and I'm excited to finally be at this big step, but it's been really, really stressful. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to launching a business. As of right now, my website is under construction, and there I'll have a more formal way of people contacting me and my prices. So I'm putting that together at the moment, as well as contracts. That's something I didn't really think about. When you're providing a service like that for someone, there's a legal aspect of being like, this is the expectation and this is the payment, just as reassurance to know that everyone's getting what they're there for. And if I'm not paid, then I can, make sure I'm paid and have a contract being like, yo, you said you were gonna pay me. So I'm getting contracts written up right now. And I'm also still just kind of figuring out my pricing. I've been dealing with some imposter syndrome. Like, I know that I know what I'm doing, and I think my work shows that. I don't think anyone could just pick up a camera and make what I've made. But I also know that professional videographers who have been doing what I'm doing for many years would have some critiques for me. And I'm kind of a perfectionist. And that's why it's taken me 9 months of practice after already having 5 years of experience vlogging on YouTube to feel ready to take this step, because I just want to give people something that I think is perfect or as good as I could make. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm just really hard on myself in pretty much all aspects of my life. But it really helps to hear from people in my life who I've shown my work to, as well as now you guys, now that I'm kind of starting to show my work to the public, to be told that it's good and I'm good at what I'm doing and I should be charging people money for that kind of work. But I feel like I'm at a point where I will learn much more from experience and putting that pressure on myself to be like, all right, this client is paying me this much. Let's do this and give it my best. And that will only push me to be even better. I have a networking event coming up where I'm just going to kind of meet other small businesses in the area, meet other artists, and just kind of put my name in the mix and be like, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. A huge part of it is just networking locally. And I think it'll also be a really cool opportunity for me to just meet people, even if I don't end up working with them, to just be like, yo, what do you do? Oh, we have similar interests. We on that creative wavelength. So that'll be really fun. And then I have a shoot with a catering company who is catering an event geared towards wedding vendors for kind of a similar thing. But I'm going to be shooting that event and focusing on the drink catering and making a video for their website. So that's kind of my next gig coming up that I've locked down. And I really want to get my website done sooner than later so I can have some business cards made so I can go to those events and start handing business cards out. So yeah, there's just a lot of moving parts right now. The business cards, the website, the contracts, the pricing. It's a lot to figure out for someone who's never done any of that kind of stuff before. So yeah, I'm stressed. I'm pretty stressed out. Balancing that on top of motherhood, on top of YouTube. It feels like a good, healthy, productive stress though, and I'm happy to be stressed about this rather than stressed that I'm not doing enough or stressed about all the other things I could be stressing about. It's good to kind of take a break from the other stress and stress about this stress. I'm gonna be stressing regardless. It's just who I am. A great stress relief that I found though is rock climbing. I recently got into that and I'm super excited about it. I used to love rock climbing when I was younger. Anytime I found a rock wall, I was straight up there. But after trying it out now at a proper rock climbing gym, it's cool to see like all the different levels and the way that the paths are made. It's a lot of technique and skill and trial and error, and I just find it to be so fun. I've been wanting to get into that for a long time now, and I finally took that step. I've just been taking steps lately, guys. I feel like I've been a little hermit for a while, and I'm finally making moves. These are all things I've been wanting to do for a long time. I wanted to move to Austin, launch my business, and start rock climbing, and here I am doing it, and it feels great. I have such a desire for knowledge right now. I just want to learn how to do better at what I'm trying to do, how to be a better rock climber, how to make better videos, and I'm just super motivated to do the work and keep moving up. So yeah, that's what's up with me. That's what I have going on. Happy stress. Some stress makes you feel good in a weird way. I'm also planning a trip. I'm going to Florida, going back to Florida to see my little sister graduate. My older sister graduated in 2017, and no one from my family has graduated since. I got pregnant. I never finished high school. My brother just got his GED this year, and my little sister is finishing up her senior year. So me and the girls are gonna drive out to Florida, probably stay for a while since we're driving, probably like 2 weeks, and just spend time with family and friends there. I'm really excited. I miss everyone a lot. So we've got that coming up. And it's Easter this weekend. I don't have much plans other than making deviled eggs, which I do every Easter. I'm also getting my gecko next week. I've been working on my gecko enclosure. Finally gonna get our new pet. Anyways, I'm gonna pick up the girls because it is time for them to come home. Don't have to worry about getting wet because I already am. It's still raining really hard. I just tucked the girls in, told them a bedtime story, and now I'm gonna read. I recently started this book. It's called The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself. It's about the voice in your head, your thoughts, your conscious, and how to stop identifying with your thoughts. To stop judging yourself for the things you're thinking, because your thoughts really aren't you. You are the entity that observes the voice in your head, the constant chatter, but at the end of the day, it is not you who is speaking in your head all day. I'm only on chapter 3, and so that's really what the book has covered so far. And at this point, it's like, okay, but if I'm not that voice, then who am I? And I kind of like that voice, but sometimes I really don't, especially when my anxiety is just like going 100 miles an hour and that voice is down a rabbit hole. In times like those, I would like to not identify with my voice, but I've been like picking and choosing, like, okay, so when it says this kind of thing, like that's definitely me who thinks that and says those things. But when it says these kinds of things, that's not me who thinks that and says those things. And so it's kind of hard to completely disconnect from it and be like, wait, none of it is me. But apparently being able to do that and detach from that voice leads to enlightenment. So we'll see where this book takes me. Chapter number 3, Who Are You? Which is kind of what I've been asking myself up until this point. If I'm not the voice, who even am I? Identity crisis. I've also been annotating this book, which I don't annotate most of the books I read, but the more like self-help books and like spiritual books, I like to annotate more, especially this one because it's just so dense, not in the fact that it's like a big book, but each chapter just has so many good bits that I want to remember. And so yeah, like I've been writing on the sides and underlining stuff pretty much on every page. I did this when I read The 4 Agreements, which I sat down and read in one sitting, and that book completely changed my life. Highly recommend that. Honestly, reading like spiritual self-help books is really what got me into reading again. And I haven't read one of these books in a long time because I've been reading other stuff. But so far, I'm really liking this. Again, 4 Agreements is really, really, really good. And then also the 5th Agreement is a great like second part to that first book that I really think like I gained so much more from, because I'm kind of hesitant to like read a second part. I'm like, what more could there really be said? But it was a lot. That time in my life, like just so much shifted as I was making my way through that book. And a lot of it had to do with just my perspective. And it really helped me a lot with perspective just on the world around me. And then Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl is probably one of my favorite books I've ever read to this day. Similar vibe to these 2 books. That one's a little less spiritual and more from a psychological perspective, written by a doctor, as well as more of a story being told throughout the book with a lot of psychoanalyzing happening, but still like you're following a story. And that's another book that just completely changed my life. And all of those books, including this one, were really, really highly recommended to me. And I heard great things, plenty of people saying it changed their life in that way. So I'm excited to get through this. I had a really good day, honestly. I'm feeling a lot better than I did this morning. It felt good to clean the kitchen and cook dinner. I don't know, I've just been cozy today in my cozy little sweater. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, Camille. What? Yeah, you can open the door just a little bit.